Hi kiddos, it's Miss Elliott here to talk about value today. Value is the lightness or darkness of color. At the beginning of the year, if you remember when we were talking about color, we did the value scale according to colors. We did tints and shades. Today we are working on just black and white. So you need a really good pencil and you need a Sharpie or a black marker. The pointier the better. I'm gonna pause my video and get a sharper pencil. All right, guys, I also got a paper towel. So you could actually use a paper towel or a Q-tip, a nice sharpened pencil, and a black marker or Sharpie. The skinnier, I have a very fine point today, which I usually don't like, but actually as I've been drawing more, I actually like that fine point a lot more than I thought I did. All right, so you don't need your paper towel, you don't need your Sharpie yet. The first thing we need is our pencil. Now, if you don't want to print this paper off, it's fine. You don't have to print it off. Just use a regular sheet of paper and then draw 7 boxes. So we'll do one at a time. So if you quickly just make a column of boxes and then cut it into 7 pieces, that'd be great. You could either number them 1 through 7 if that helps. Highlighters are 1, light is 2, low light is 3, medium is 4, low dark is 5, dark is 6, and darkest is 7. So it should be almost black when we get to dark. The only thing, a pencil is not the shade of black, so you want to try to get as close as possible. So value is just lightness or darkness. So we start light and we work to dark. This helps create shadows, 3D perspective. It helps a whole lot with artists. If you love to draw, you're really gonna love these two. If you're more into cartoons, these last 3 work really well too. I actually like to draw more cartoons. I feel more comfortable with it, but I'm gonna try to draw more realistic, and then this pencil and blending and smudging really helps. The highlight should be your whitest, so you're actually not going to color that at all in any of them. All these should be white. Your first box should always be white. So we're gonna start with light. When I shade and do value, I hold my pencil like this. It's almost like if you were putting it on the ground, on the table, you just pick it up. I keep holding it like that. I'm gonna angle my the tip of my pencil all the way down and almost hold my pencil parallel to the paper. And I'm barely going to touch. Now, I'm sorry if you guys have trouble seeing it. You should, because it's very light. It's so light, you're barely touching it, and you're keeping it very steady, so it looks the same throughout the whole entire box, okay? Then each time you go up, you increase the value, which means you make it a little bit darker. So you could either push on your pencil a little bit harder, or go over it twice. All right, so each time, again, you're gonna go a little darker. So if it helps, you could push a little harder or just do it multiple times. So I'm actually pushing a little harder now. When you get to medium, you want that to be about the shade of when you actually sketch. So hopefully in your paper, you're just seeing an increase of value, which just means it's getting darker. So each box I increase the value, add a little more graphite. It's okay if you don't stay in the line. So if you don't want to draw a box either, you could actually just shade it. But you want this whole area to look one color at a time. One color at a time. And then I'm getting even darker. Pushing a little harder on my pencil. Now this paper took the class the whole entire time to do it. So I'd say this is definitely a 30-minute lesson from start to finish. I'm not gonna make a 30-minute video, so I'm just gonna show you this whole one first, and then I'm only gonna show you pieces of all the other columns, because I think you could probably follow along and pause it as you need to. All right, that last one is so super dark. It's as dark as a pencil can go. So you wanna really push without breaking your pencil as hard as you can. You could always go back a little and make some darker if you need to. I've been practicing this all week with my classes, so I'm pretty much getting to be an expert on this, just this piece. So feel free to just keep practicing. Now the second one is where you need your paper towel and pencil. You're gonna do the same thing, except you're gonna actually smudge your pencil. So you take your paper towel, you could also use a Q-tip if you have one at home, and you're going to blend it in the box. So you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna add your color, your value, take your paper towel and smudge it. You know what also works really, really well is a makeup brush that's a sponge. I know boys, you probably might not have any, but maybe your parents have one that they're not using anymore. So you want to keep going. All right, I'm going to stop the video. All I'm doing is I'm increasing my value and I'm using the paper towel to blend. You push pretty hard, and as you can see in mine, you should not see the pencil lines anymore. All right, I'm going to stop and keep going, and I'll show you when I'm done. All right, guys, I finished my blending, and now I'm going to hatching. Remember, the first one is blank. Hatching is just drawing lines. I'm going to do diagonal lines. You're welcome to do horizontal, vertical. Now with hatching, let me get my Sharpie to work a little bit. There we go. Hatching is lines, and we want to start light, so we only want a couple lines. You don't worry about how dark your lines are, and if you can see, I'm using a marker, so there's only one shade to this marker. What increases your value this time are more lines that are closer together. So every time I move up a box, I'm going to add more lines. Now I'm not counting it, I'm not doing any math here, so I'm just trying to put them closer together. And as I do this, hopefully you will see an increase in value. If you see, it's getting darker. Hatching is pretty quick, so I'll do hatching all with you, and then I'll pause it as I start showing you cross hatching. All right, see how close my lines are getting? You can do this, if you don't have any Sharpies or black markers at home, you can do this with pencil or pen. I just always like using Sharpies. All right, the last one, don't color it in, but you're going to actually draw so many lines it's going to look colored in. But if you zoom up on it, you would still be able to see lines. Okay, cross hatching. Cross hatching is like hatching except you're crossing. So I'm going to go one way with my lines, and then I'm going to go the other way. So it creates a cross. And again, as you go down, you want to increase your value, so you want more and more lines. All right, I'm going to pause it here. I'm going to finish cross hatching. All right, last one is stippling. I really like stippling. So let me show you, and I want you to be careful with your pen because we're actually stippling as dots. So first one is white again. The second one, you're just gonna actually touch your marker to the paper. I've been really not making my kids not hit it. You don't wanna hurt your marker. So all we do, we're not drawing circles, we're just doing dots. And it's kind of like pointillism, kiddos, because I know you guys have been doing pointillism, but the whole thing is about making it darker. It's not about adding color like pointillism does. But just like pointillism, I like to start in one area, finish one area, not just hop around the whole entire one. So if you see, I'm going like almost in rows, but I don't want them straight in rows, you know, because it should be still a varied pattern. It's not exact pattern. All right, but every time I add a box, I'm going to do more and more. Let me show you my finished product. I actually worked really hard on it. I probably spent just 10 minutes alone doing my last box of stippling. So here's my last box. If you can see, this one is very dark compared to all the other ones, but each box increases until that last one. All right, so enjoy doing your stippling, enjoy your different types of value. Next week, we're going to do a project based on this lesson. So this lesson is very important. Don't lose your paper. And if you want to, you can label it. So then next week, when we actually do our project, I'm like, make sure you have some stippling in it. You know what I mean by that. All right, artists, enjoy your value. I can't stop. I'm having too much fun. Have a great day, guys.